May the 4th be with you. And also with you.
Frack.
May you live long and prosper. No.
And no empire shall pass.
This is the... Stop it! This is the celebrated fan day for Star Wars. Like N7 Day is for Mass Effect.
I don't recognize N7 Day. That's against my religion.
How dare you? There's also...
Mass Effect's not big enough to earn a day.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's not.
It's impactful.
I played Mass Effect. It's a good game.
It's a great game. Maybe the best.
I take a week off every May for Red Dead Redemption. Let's keep it together.
What is it? Revenge of the 5th tomorrow?
Well, I think it should be Revenge of the 6th.
Revenge of the 6th. Then what's tomorrow?
The 6th Strikes Back. I don't know.
Sure.
Tomorrow will be Revenge of the 5th, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a couple things we're going to talk about.
Yes.
One of them is going to be attempting to surprise each other with facts from Star Wars that they might not know.
Okay, do you want to go first?
Yes. Harrison Ford had a big payday for being a New Hope. He earned $10,000.
Wasn't he cast because he was reading lines with the actors that were being seen for it because he had been in American Graffiti?
Yes.
And
I did know that.
Lucas was like, okay, I like you.
But $10,000? I mean, granted, look, it paid off in the end.
This is 70s.
Yeah, and he made his career based off of this. But, what was that, $30,000 maybe? It's not a lot of money.
I would do it for $30,000, but then I'm not a professional.
You heard it here first.
I would be in Star Wars for free. I would pay them, actually.
Oh God, I would love to be like in the background.
I would pay $10,000 to just be there, like.
Just like in the background, making out with Daisy Ridley, just in the background.
I don't need to do that.
Or BB-8.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to stump you.
Okay.
Okay.
No, you don't have to stump me. It's just this is a celebration.
Okay.
Increasing knowledge.
Did you know that the Sith were originally called the Damned? But that was a British band's name. They were like a punk band, and then Lucas had to change it in post-production.
Okay, I'm glad that he changed it because that's a stupid name.
The Damned.
But he should not have had to change that for them. You can't cover the Damned. That's so vague. It's not yours. Like, oh, I named my band Angels, so you can't use the word angel anymore. That's dumb. Okay, next up. Peter Cushing, who played Grand Moff Tarkin, found his costume boots so uncomfortable that he wore slippers during many of his scenes and insisted that they shoot tight so that you couldn't see his feet. I love the idea of him walking around in fluffy, like, Ewok slippers.
I would do that.
Yeah.
Did you know Emperor Palpatine was originally played by an elderly female stand-in with chimpanzee eyes superimposed over her own to look creepy?
I did not know they were chimpanzees, but I did often wonder why they have the weird, big, bulging eyes. Like, I thought he was an alien at first when I first saw it.
There's something wrong with him.
Okay. The sound of the TIE Fighter engine is made from sounds of an elephant call mixed with the sounds of a car driving on wet pavement.
I didn't know that. I only knew about lightsaber sounds, which was a muted TV with passing a microphone in front of it. And it was kind of created on accident.
I bet new TVs
there's different sounds.
To do that.
There's other things that are involved as well. Did you know that although episodes 4 and 5 were big hits, the studio would not sign for Return of the Jedi unless George Lucas drew out a merchandising plan that involved more toy-friendly characters than Empire did. And that is where we got the Ewoks.
Definitely.
Also,
and the Gungans and the droids.
Gungans aren't friendly for toys.
No, but it's kiddie. It's to bring kids in and make them want to, like... Because once the kids watch it, then they want a shitload of toys. It doesn't have to be on a toy. It can be on a backpack and all that stuff.
Well, there's also the tidbit that it was originally going to be on Kashyyyk. But then they were like, well... Wookiees are too technologically advanced, and we want that theme of, a primitive civilization overthrowing the most advanced civilization.
I mean, it would have made sense that they had the Death Star orbiting a slave planet at that time. That would have made more sense. I like the Ewoks, though. I don't actually mind.
And I get shit for it all the time.
Why not?
Because they're annoying. They don't fit. They're for children, and I watched it as an adult. I'm sure you feel differently if you watched it as a child.
But what I like is that they show that all the species don't have to be at roughly the same level of intelligence and technological development, that there can be earlier development species. I don't know. I always thought that was cool. Okay. Mark Hamill was in a bad car accident before filming The Empire Strikes Back. That's one of the reasons they had the Wampa maul him early on, is so that the scar would make sense canonically.
Well, there's also, Mark Hamill gets hurt a lot on set because in A New Hope trash compactor scene, he held his breath for so long that he burst a blood vessel, and that's why you only see half of his face for so much of that scene.
Which sounds bad, but if he hadn't held his breath for that long, he would have drowned, which would be worse.
Well, he
Most
could also
people don't know that.
Damn, just come out. There's also
When does he have to hold his breath for a long time?
He was just under the water.
Why didn't they just cut away?
Water.
That could have been for a second.
Yeah, I guess.
Fucking George Lucas.
It was also
You dick.
that scene where he has the Stormtrooper helmet on and he says, "I can't see a thing in this helmet." That's ad-libbed. "I love you, I know" from Han and Leia. That was Harrison
That was taken
Ford's
from me.
choice.
I said that first.
I said that once in a relationship, and I got in a lot of trouble because he didn't understand that I was making a reference.
Well, then that probably put him in a lot of trouble that he didn't get that reference.
He didn't get it. He was
You
mad.
were dating a total non-nerd?
No, he was a nerd.
Yeah.
He was a computer programmer.
Yeah.
He gamed.
Okay, so you probably have heard this. I just think it's funny that during the prequels, Ewan McGregor, while doing his scenes with the lightsaber, kept making the sounds of the weapon.
So he's running around like,
and they had to remove
stop it.
Exactly. No, but so they had to remove them. But I love the idea that like if you look closer, you can probably see his lips going.
That's cute though. That's like a kid.
Yeah, it makes you think like he's a kid who grew up liking the movies.
Well, when we hear stories about him in episode 7, he was like, I was waiting for them. I really want to be in it. But he did do a voiceover, so he's kind of in the movie.
Kind of.
A little bit.
Kind of.
Let's see, what else do we have? Yoda has no determined species.
Yeah, there was a reference I know from spending time on the wiki to one other member of his species, a female, I think, at one point. But they didn't say who the species was. It was just
I've
one
heard about
more.
a female, but
yeah,
his original first name was Minch Yoda.
You can't call him a minch.
Is that a Hebrew word?
It sounds like it.
What is it? It's
Mensch
almost like
is an
mensch.
actual word, but so I didn't get this while watching it, but apparently when Jar Jar is standing in the Galactic Senate, one of the votes that he casts is basically the approval for the destruction of the
He ruined
Jedi.
everything. This is like back to the theory that Jar Jar was
a
Sith Lord, and he was written.
Not a Sith Lord.
He was written as more of a foreboding, dramatic character before he was totally changed to be wacky. And
how could he have been a foreboding? He's doing flips and
he
stuff.
wasn't doing them before. He changed it. This
Okay.
one, I don't
That's
believe.
not foreboding.
It says that Return of the Jedi almost had a different ending, with Luke removing Vader's helmet and saying, "Now I am Vader."
It's not impossible that could have made sense. It doesn't make sense to me immediately why he would have done that.
Well, there was that thing recently. I think it's been debunked, but there was a theory that from an elite script for episode 8 in which I'm going to give a potential spoiler alert, but it's probably fake, which was that Rey is mad at Luke and thinks that he's her father, and then he goes, "No, you are my father," meaning she's a reincarnated Anakin. But that was just a theory, and it was
That's not true.
And
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. No, you're my father. No,
and then
no,
they do
no.
a little bit of
No, and she's not going to be Luke's kid. If she is, that's just bad. She needs to be Han Solo's daughter.
I think it's certainly pointing that way, or at least they want us to believe that way. You know, and
No, because
it could be a red
train
herring.
his daughter. No, train your niece. Train your niece. That makes more sense.
would-
It's because her being Kylo Ren's cousin is not dramatic.
Cousin.
Her being the sister, that's dramatic.
I mean, that is a closer relationship because
Yes.
I don't care about most of my cousins.
Cousins.
I like maybe 2 of them.
Jeez.
The other ones,
Okay.
they could fuck off for all I care.
They might be fucking off for all she cares right now. We don't know. Did you know that the genre of music heard during the cantina scene has a name?
It's jizz.
How did you know that?
I know everything.
I know everything about jizz.
No, my friend Fawn, who you've seen a couple times, he's a visual effects designer. He worked on the special edition and some of the prequels. He's too young to have worked on the original trilogy.
Uh-huh.
And he actually had to stand in for the encyclopedia being one of the characters in the Cantina Band, and his character was the Fizz, and he plays the Jizz. And it looks like a clarinet. He's that one.
Get your lips around that clarinet and give me that jizz.
I don't like it. It's terrible. Yeah, and there's many other things in here, but I think a lot of them are things people know. Like Harrison Ford wanted Han Solo killed off earlier, and George Lucas said no.
I don't like knowing that stuff. Like I didn't even like finding out that Daisy Ridley hadn't been into Star Wars before she got the part.
We found that out on our own when watching a Q&A, and we were just like, what?
I know that, like, they're actors, they're doing their job, but, like,
if it makes you feel better, John Boyega was a fan, and he looked like a happy, like, kid seeing all their dreams come true in the behind-the-scenes footage.
And she seems super into it now, which is good. Like, she's taking her training very seriously and everything.
I also have one last tidbit.
What's that?
It's that in the original, not the original, but one of the drafts, I think the 4th draft of Star Wars, now called A New Hope, R2 had lines. R2 spoke. We know him as
That's not a good thing.
Beep, 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 boop, boop, boop. But he spoke words, and I do actually have this. I don't know if you want to read it. But
we can read a little bit,
okay.
but I have to show soon.
So they're at Jungland, or No Man's Land. It says Aqualay, but I think it's supposed to be Tatooine. Early on, they're kind of marooned. I think you can probably remember what this original scene is.
So weird.
Yunland, or No Man's Land, where the rugged desert mesas meet the foreboding dune sea. The two helpless astro robots.
They're not both astro robots, George Lucas.
One of them's an astromech, and one of them's a protocol droid. Thank you. Kicks up clouds of dust as they clumsily work their way across the desert coastline. The short R2 struggles desperately to keep up with the long-legged 3P.
Let me just say, I don't like when I see their names spelled out as a word. That makes me uncomfortable. So R2 says, "It's not possible. We're not built for this. You're nothing more than a dim-witted, emotion-brained, intellectual girl." He doesn't say girl. I just say girl. "Why you were created is beyond my logic systems. Thanks to you, we're deserters, and will probably be destroyed on sight. And on top of that, you're going the wrong way. All this filth is getting..." The towering 3PO stops short and turns on the blabbering mechanical runt. Runt? "I've had enough of you, you pragmatic, nearsighted scrap pile. You go your own way." He picks up the tiny robot and tosses him several feet into a large sand. He was much smaller earlier on. 3PO, enough to be picked up. Yeah. 3PO starts off in the direction of the dune sea. R2 struggles to his feet. Feet! Rolling things, and shakes a metallic claw arm at his disappearing ex-partner. "You'll be malfunctioning within a day. You're going the wrong way, but your way is always the wrong way. Whoa. I hated you as I hated your mother." That part was out. 3PO mother stops and yells to the smaller android, "And don't let me catch you following me, begging for help, because you won't get it from me." R2's reply is a rather rude sound, which only an electronic person can make. That's not rude, that's exhilarating. He turns and trudges off in the opposite direction into the rocky... Yeah, you suck, weird. George Lucas. Is this before you designed R2? Apparently. So I found this from a link that I will include later. It's like, I think it's Star Wars with a Z. And it says also, it says R2 is Luke's father. It's actually, at this point, they're calling Luke Starkiller, so it's very early. And you may know that they repurposed Starkiller for Starkiller Base, and in the video game, Starkiller is the name from the... One of the ships, right? No. It's Starkiller weapon? It's the name of one of the characters, actually, in the more recent games. That's fine, but I think there's also a Starkiller weapon. Okay, it's a word they like a lot. Blows up a star. Anyway, I gotta run. That's it. John has shit to do. May the 4th be with you. I'm gonna be doing hour 2 today, and you'll be doing hour 1. Yay! BB-8. Bye. Okay, bye.